remembering where I'm at and where I've been. Know that I'm far from home, but it feels like an extension. A warm smell keeps blowing in from the kitchen. No, it's not a rat, but I'm not sure, 'cause it's not my kitchen. At midnight, halloumi through me, still it keeps coming and coming again. I know I feel the morning brewing, but that halloumi, yeah, it's through me. I said that midnight, halloumi through me, still it keeps coming and coming again. I know I feel the morning looming, but that halloumi, yeah, through me. First batch was the one, the second was the sinner. Then you went for one more. I don't know what it's doing to my inside, but my tongue well knows. The butter running down my throat, and I can't explain no more. No, I can't explain no more. A warm smell is blowing in from the kitchen. No, it's not a cat, but I'm not sure, 'cause it's not my kitchen. That midnight halloumi through me, still it keeps coming and coming again. I know I feel the morning brewing, but that halloumi, yeah, through me. I said that midnight halloumi through me, still it keeps coming and coming again. No, I feel the morning looming, but that halloumi, yeah, through me. Tick tock, clock, going past midnight. That's not the cat, no, that's not a rat. Hey, that's not my cat. Midnight halloumi through me, still it keeps coming and coming again. I know I feel the morning brewing, but that halloumi, yeah, through me. I said that midnight halloumi through me, still it keeps coming and coming again. No, I feel the morning looming, but that halloumi, yeah, through me. To get the
Just realized, got myself muted. Welcome to the stream, guys. It's an impromptu one. I wanted to do one before the end of the year to, share my excitement. And to also, because show off some work that I've been received this week, like in the middle of Christmas, right? The artists have been working hard. So I got sent a cover the other day. Then I got sent a page. Then I got sent another page. So 3 different artists working hard out during Christmas at the same time. So I'm like, you guys should be on holiday. I took 2 weeks off. Least you could do was take some time off as well. So I'm quite excited to have Luiz with me, as you know him. Well, you guys, if you guys been following this channel, he's our artist on this background art there, and we're going to be sharing some other work as well. We're going to be talking about that as well. Luiz himself is from Brazil, of course. Luiz, do you want to, jump on and quickly, give us a short bio, bro?
Yeah, hello there. I just Luiz, just as he said, I'm actually doing a page right now. The next page for the Howler. I can show it later too, like
sure.
In work in progress.
Yeah.
I'm actually quite groggy right now because I just had dinner, and you know that feeling when you just ate and then it comes that feeling of tiredness and laziness.
Yeah.
I kind of feel that right now. So
yeah,
but,
that was my Christmas day. I ate dinner, then went to sleep. At my sister's place, and I missed dessert, bro. I was like, just went to sleep, and I was like, because you were so full and you ate so much. But how was your Christmas, by the way? What did you get up to?
Yeah, it was nice. We just got to gather our family here at my home. A
Mhm.
lot of people came. We had our, I don't remember the word. I would say supper. I don't remember if supper is the right word for it. Is it?
Well, was it? Did you have dinner, or was it between lunch and dinner?
Um, well, it was during. No, it's before dinner. Yeah,
Right.
it's lunch. Yeah,
Yeah. So probably an afternoon lunch. Yeah.
yeah.
What do you guys do specifically in Brazil? Like, is there something particular you do traditional for Christmas, for the family gathering, or is it just a normal day kind of thing, just
Uh,
barbecue or something like
well,
that?
well, from tradition, like we actually really finding Christmas as important because it's also a Christian country. I'm
Okay.
even so nowadays is Brazil is not so Christian anymore, but the tradition
Mm.
still stands.
Yeah.
But the thing is, there are some things that are quite different since well, um, it's a country in a totally different hemisphere. Since
Mm.
in the north hemisphere it's winter now, but here it's summer, so there comes some difference
Right.
because of that. Yeah, I mean, from I remember in New Zealand, it's also summer, right?
Yeah, dude, it's like crazy. I've got the all three windows open and I've got the front slider open as well. So they're like, it's just so hot and like it's really hard to sleep at night because of temperature changes. And it's been really messing around with my equilibrium, trying to finding out what's the right time to go to sleep and not sweat and then wake up because you're
Yeah,
like
yeah, I
it,
get you.
like I had shower at eight at night last night. And that was like warm, like lukewarm to cold shower because it was so hot. Yeah.
Well,
But
yeah,
so,
yeah. I mean, I
yeah, so
understand.
we're
I mean, for myself,
yeah,
almost every day I'm using the AC to sleep. I think
right.
it's air conditioner, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
English. Yeah.
Is it
So
is it
I
costly
mean,
to you guys?
yeah, it is. I mean, I can afford
Right.
because for my work and I still live with my family, just to save money. Because if I mean,
Yeah.
I could try just moving out and going by myself, but it's kind of unnecessary for me now since I'm still single, and also I don't really have a reason to move out yet. So
Right.
since is still living together, so we just save money. I
Yeah.
mean, right now I was using just a fan here to because of
Yeah.
heat, but I just turn off because maybe you would get in the noise and all. So,
Yeah.
but,
I
but
understand.
yeah,
Thank you for that, by the way. Yeah, you don't want feedback noise where, this one, usually I have the right side closed, but right now, you know, I've got a multi, like what, I think a condenser mic or directional mic. So anything outside of it doesn't pick up, which is really cool. So, but normally I have the right slider closed so that there's no like noise from outside coming in. But thank you guys for joining us today. And, hello, how are you, wherever you are? Welcome. I really appreciate you guys to, jump in, because like it was only about 4 hours ago. I said, oh, hey, why not do a live stream as like the last one for the year? Because I don't often live stream on this because I think the only time I should be live streaming about our comics is when I have something to show, right? Or something to really speak about, or, and I felt like, hey, we've got so much work to show that we got bringing out that it's worthwhile coming on this month. And then maybe next month when we get ready to pop out and do some crowdfunding on our comic books, then when we're ready to go, then we can say, hey, here's a bit more of live streaming on this channel. As you know, I have another channel where I talk about whatever I want to talk about with world stuff, but this one's specifically for the comics that we're creating, and sometimes we'll bring on people that are in the comics business and who are creative themselves. So this is going to strictly be going forward always going to be about comics and probably maybe some media, something related to comics, but you know, like you know, like friggin' I got this, you know, Lego. So I've been having on a big huge leg. I've been going on a big huge Lego tangent for the last 2 months.
Would there be Lego Star Wars?
This is Superman.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so this is like
Uh,
it's I think this is supposed to be like the what's her name? Oh, Wonder Woman's jet, but it's,
uh,
I put Superman in there, and then there's a battle thing to go with that, which is a Darkseid clash of the some Titans or something like that,
I
right?
see.
And there is some I hardly have any room in my place, so it's everywhere. And then I've realized that I've got to like maybe get rid of all this like off the shelf, all the figurines and stuff, and then actually display my you know my my Lego collection properly, so that it's not everywhere. And the other thing was I got a huge box for like about $20. $20 US, right? Very cheap. Didn't expect it to be so much. And like they had like Legos, sorry, they had like Batman sets, like this one here. Just like seriously, these are each worth around $100 New Zealand or over, right? I don't know what's worth in the US, but and I'm like, this this is like crazy, and that set went with this. So, and this is like somebody's like an auction I won, and so I was like, whoa, blown away. It was hand delivered. It cost me about $15, like like $7 of V drinks, $10 taxi to just go down the road to pick it up because it was going to take me 20 minutes to walk, and I walk with a cane, so I wasn't like keen on going for all early morning walk like that. And so I just called up my taxi driver, my normal taxi driver, Mac, and I said, hey man, can you drop by and pick me up and we'll do this? And then I made a whole day of it. But it was a box about, I don't know, maybe about 40 centimeters by 40 centimeters square, and 10 sets, like crazy. And I'm like, I did not know there was that much in there. And each item is over $100, right? Or maybe over $50. Like this cryo, this wasn't there. Like what's his name? Han Solo, cryo, whatever they call
Oh,
it. Wasn't
let's
there.
say, is that a old model or what?
Yeah, it's like it's the actual Lego for it.
I see.
I'm like,
No, I mean that's because there has been like many years like they take like this single model for a old one and they remake it, again, just
yeah,
to sell it again.
I think when sometimes they do, but sometimes they just like don't they just stop it already. Like I've been looking at that, they're like, oh, okay, not available anymore, kind of, like vaulted, like they do with Funko Pops. They call it vaulted. They put it away and then they're going to make it anymore. So whatever you have is whatever you have. And so they
Yeah.
do that with a whole lot of figures. So like they won't probably make this ever again. But anyway, so without further ado, let's get back to the art. So I had this up there to show some of the work that we're doing. Like this is Howler that we've been working on, and for this past year or so, and I'm just quite excited because this is our 30-page comic book. I realized I counted the pages today, and I was like, because we were at 25, and then I went and added another 5 to the start because I thought it would be really cool to something a bit more at the start. And I was counting. It's like, well, so it's going to be a 30-page comic book with all the art, and then it's going to have the cover. So there's 3. So there's 3 covers at the back, 3 covers at the front. There's interior, like the interior part where you like put information, and then probably another. So it leaves 4 pages for people's names and who've helped, like who are working on it, and then also, like a pin up, some extra info, and then also a thank you to all the backers. I like to always have a page at the back to say, hey, this is where your name's going to go when we show this, right? And the other thing I decided like this year is like never to put out a book until it's totally completed, right? So this book is like at the moment, right? We haven't finished the book. At the moment, we're finishing off. We did some of the inks, and then we jumped and did some of the pencils, and we did some of the thumbnails. But so some of the books, you know, some parts are finished, and some parts are you know, on nearly there, and like you'll have like penciled that are fully penciled, and some of them not fully penciled. But again, you know, for me, looking at it, I got to have a really good idea of where we're going with the book and what it's going to look like when it's finished, and what I wanted to, you know, when people read it, how it's going to feel like. For you, what was it like drawing it, man? Like, because I mean, you know, this is the first time we're working together on a project, and you know, just looking at your work, I'm like, I love the realism behind this story. I think this is what's going to make this. What brings it really cool is like the realistic art. It's not like a, you know, it's not like a trying too much on the fantasy side, but it's got a lot of fantasy elements. That's the thing about it. It's like a real, like if you ever watched the Howling movie, it's basically the Howling meets this. Excuse me. The Howling meets Nightbreed. That's the best way I can describe it, right?
Yeah.
And it's I think. What was your takeaway from reading the script? What did you think about it? Like, what did you think you know, what do you think the story would like compare it to, or you know?
You mean like my vision that I had in the beginning?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, from the way that you described me the story and all, reading the scripts, all of the ideas and all that you say to me while with our convos and all, I mean, I decided to take this, how can I say, this approach that we have right now, because, and even though I'm not really so much into the genre, this I mean, this specific genre of werewolves and monsters, or I seen some of them, and so I try to make something different, you know.
Mm.
Because I mean, it seems like not only this genre, but many others that like this trend to make something, to make things really if a center, how can I say, if with a specific art style that's really more cartoonish, and I don't know, like, if you know what I mean, like stylized.
Mm.
But and with you, and with what I heard from you about this story, you know, I thought of like I want to make it look like more real and nature, you know.
Mm.
Like, because that's like, I mean, I don't think it's just for this project. I mean, that's also kind of like the view that I have for fiction for me. I know, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
probably if I was going to do something else, some other project, I was probably going to try something similar too, because I like this kind of approach,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, I mean, and what else? You talk also about the drawing, and you when you mentioned that, you mean like in general, or what? Well,
Well, for me, like, I mean, we're bringing fantasy to a realistic sort of a book, right? Like, I mean, we're doing fantasy books itself. Like, there's Zoolander, where we've got elves, we've got dwarves, we've got dragons, we've got wyverns in that world, right? That fantasy world. However, this one here is in our real world. So I think having the characters look as realistic, you know, as real, you know, character wise, they're not too cartoony or anything like that. They look really grounded. And I think that for me, looking at the book, it's like, yeah, this is the art that deserves this book, you know, this story. And so there'll be other ones that I'll go, okay, this artist suits this work because this is what this artist's work is like. And I don't want him to put that artist with some other book that's not going to suit them. And it's like the same thing with Robot Nation, right? Looking at Robot Nation and then getting Francisco and going, oh, you should do a crime crime vigilante story and then going, he's not really having fun with this, and going, okay, you know what, let's give you something else. And he's like, boom, runs away and does this amazing, Robot Nation standalone comic book. I'm like, this is really cool, And so it's really, it's something that I've really sort of worked out over the last couple of years, like making sure that the artists are suited to the artwork and they like the art, the story that they're working on, or the genre that they are working on suits, their interests. Because it becomes a chore when you like try and do something you don't really like, and it's like, it's like being a kid going, this is good for you, right? Eat this Brussels sprouts. It's like, but I don't wanna, but then you go, well, this is a nice strawberry, and I go, I love strawberries, that kind of feel like, I mean, like, I know, that you viewers understand where I'm coming from when I say that. Like, it becomes work when you're doing something that you're not comfortable that you're doing because you have to do it. It becomes more passion, a passion project if you love doing what you're doing. And I think this is something that I found, like, working with different artists is like, if they're suited, if they like what they're doing, they really put their heart and soul into it, and they bring more to it than I could imagine myself. And I think that's why, like I say, that we're a team when we work together, that we are together creating. And and when I'm talking to to the artists, I go, yeah, we are creating art together, because I think that's the most important thing. I think a lot of times you find like people are creating, writers especially, they just say, this is what I want, do that. And I'm like, what if I involve people and the artists with this? They'll have more fun, and I would see a better book come out in the end. So have you felt like that? Like, I mean, have you worked before with other people that go, well, I want this, and this is the way I want it, and and you don't have sort of any freedom to do what you feel like doing? Or
Yeah, I already had these experiences. Is how can I describe it? Like suffocating, I think. Yeah, I mean, I had an experience that was really tight, with these kind of things. This one is like totally the opposite. I mean, I remember what you said, like in the beginning, like some artist that you have right now is working on the holidays. I mean, actually for me, I actually like kind of on a break from my work actually, because from all the works that I have, I just took a break. I just communicated, and like I just going to take a break for the holidays, and then I'm using this time to make Howler, So that's kind of taking a break for me.
Right.
So that's how I see about these kind of things. But about how what you were speaking about the this experience. I think this aspect that you just mentioned about including the artist, making feel involved, that really helps it. That's true. I mean, that makes me feel like that's also my story, even though technically actually isn't, but it feels like it is mine too. That's really cool.
Well, I mean, talking about that, right? I'm like on Christmas Day, I was giving Incredible comic books like for presents, and I gave out 3. So one to my nephew, one to my niece, and one to my parents, because my mom said I want to read it, and so that was like Christmas gift. I mean, I gave other stuff, but that was So my mom goes to me, goes, they were asking like, who's this Kevin Zimmerman guy, right? I was like, that's my artist, and they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, that's my artist, right? He's the other person who worked on this book, and then I realized that like normal people who don't read comic books have no idea how comics are created or what is involved, and how many people work on it. Like, I mean, if I was an artist myself, then I'll be writing my own comic book, doing it all by myself, right? And some people do that, not many, but some do that, and a lot of manga creators do that. And so, but like that, that's why they die young, right? Because the stress of it all. But with mainstream comics, right, especially with like what we're doing, right? We always, with comics, when it comes to English comics or whatever, in Western comics, we always like work as a team. You know, let's like usually there's an artist, then there is a letterer or a book designer or a inker, you know, and so on, and then cover artist and all that. Whereas with us, it's just me and you, right? And then maybe we'll get somebody to do some covers. At the moment, we haven't really reached out to anyone to do any covers, but you know, because I think I'm, you know, like I was saying, you know, when we're on Skype, like I'm only looking to do the minimal covers because I think when you do too many covers, people think, you know, they got to have every cover, but they don't really get a chance to read the book, or they think that you're only selling the book's only the covers are variant covers only there because the book isn't that good. Whereas I want to show people that the book is good, that the stories are good, and but the other thing is that the more covers you put out, the less income you have for yourself, right? And so to do whatever else you want to do with the next project. Whereas like when there's only two people involved, you know, you're spending a lot more time on it. You don't have a separate somebody else inking. You don't have somebody else lettering. It's me lettering. It's me, you know, designing the book, and you're doing all the inking. You're doing all the thumbnails. You're doing all the pencils. So, you know, a lot of people don't understand that it's a teamwork, you know, and there's always me plus one, right? And so it's important for me as a creator to go, hey, as a writer, let's get together and really thrash the ideas through and try to make it as good as possible for what we're about to do. And I think, you know, it becomes more interesting that way. And not only that, but it becomes more fulfilling, right? When you look at a page and go, wow, you know, and looks cool, or we do a bit of change and then like a little tweak, and then it becomes so much more, right? And I find like I think that allows for so much more fun and freedom to enjoy the work. You know, a lot of people are like, I heard somebody go, this is all stressing me out. I feel like this is like work. Like, I don't know what I want to do. And I'm like, I know what I want to do. You know, I've got 5 people working with me on 5 different projects, and I'm happy with every one of them because they're excited what we're doing. I don't have to worry about, you know, losing hair or having bad health because of the stress, because everybody's happy with what they're doing. And every time I see a page come in, I'm like, yay, you know, let me get some letters on this straight away. You know?
Yeah, that's right.
And
I mean, I have something I want to comment about that, or what you just said, because
yeah,
well, something I don't know how it affects the other artists you have, because I don't know
Mm.
how much they work. I don't know. I have no idea. But for me, while I was working during this year, you know, for the other jobs that I have, I mean, just to specify, I always work with art. You know, I don't have any. I'm working on the other areas. It's always about drawing. What I
right.
work with. So I mean, I also do some comic jobs from some American NGO. I don't think I
Yeah.
don't know if that's the right way to pronounce it. But anyways,
Yeah, NGO, it's a non-governmental organization.
yeah, that's it. And during that time, while I was trying to do it, Howler and all the other jobs, it becomes frustrating, not because of the relation that we have in Howler is really nice here, but the thing is all that's accumulating for me, like even more because of the jobs, like because all of the what I have to do for the comics, all the illustrations that I do for my clients, like I have to pay to keep my focus, like give all the attention that I have for the money, you know. I don't really I'm going to be honest here, for the some other things that I do, I don't really care that much for the other works that I do, because it's mostly for money, because most of them, some of them I wouldn't do it for myself, you know. It's for the job, so it's not the same when you draw it like that. So so when that happens, there comes the stress. And also during that time, sometimes doing Howler was really slower, because even though I like doing this, it's harder
Mm.
when you just came like from doing some other stressful things, and you really have the energy to do that right now,
Yeah.
even though you like to do that, because it's not the same.
Yeah.
Because even though I kind of like drawing even more, like right now, I mean, this last few days, like today and yesterday, I really more,
Yeah.
I kind of more excited now for Holler, since I really have some quality time right now to do so. But
Yeah.
but when it was doing work, it's really hard to feel that, because it's
Yeah.
like, like some kind of suffocating, because I just keep on my chair here all the day in front of my computer, just drawing,
Yeah.
and yes, that reaches a point like it's not the same, So when right now I'm doing like because you- I want to, because I like it's totally different, you know,
Yeah.
it's a different feeling. So yeah,
Yeah, it's kind of like you're just doing it because you're doing it, right? It's because
yeah,
you're working to do it. It's not like you have to do you don't have a strict I know it's like a timetable, like you have to do it between these times and you got to make sure it's handed in deadline type. Whereas like with this one, I find like because I've got 5 different people working in 5 different projects, I can get a project today, like a page in today, and then I'll be talking with somebody different tomorrow, or half an hour later, and I'll get messages like earlier I was talking to Thomas, right? He's over in France, and he's like, yo, I had to work through Christmas. Like on Christmas Day, he was working because he's over there and he's doing 4 months seasonal work and then 4 months somewhere else. And so, you know, I I understand that everybody like this is the thing, different things. I think a lot of people don't understand the way everybody in time zones, that there's so many things that are going on in each person's lives, and I'm in the middle of like navigating. Okay, so this is like such and such time over there. This is such and such time over here, and okay, so we've got this one today, and tomorrow I'm going to probably get somebody else, and so on. And I think I think for me, it's been a real eye opener to work with so many people from so many different countries at the same time. Especially now we've got like, I'll show you this thing. I got sent this like just going into Christmas from, um, is it that one? That one. No, did I open Howler twice? All right, I see what happened. Okay. I'm just going to show this cover that here we go. So this is another book, right? So it's totally finished. This is 30 pages again. Yeah, 33 there. So it's -3, so 33. So this is Fantastical Romy, and this is like from Zolandia. Fantastical Romy. Zolandia is the actual title of the book, but each one comes with their own story. So this one's called Fantastical Romy. So this is came through on Tuesday or Monday, and it's not final piece, but like because I had it, because it came through and from Iwakim in Sweden, and I thought, let me get some titles on and see what what the titles look like on the cover. And so he's not really happy with it at the moment. So this is like a prelim to his completed piece. But I just said to him, hand it over so I can play around with it. And I mean, not hand it over, he sent it to me. So I just like chucked it into the, into software, get my titles on, and
the
what
ink
it looks like.
looks really nice.
Yeah. Like, I want to actually put this out as a black and white as well. I think would be great, or even as a card, if not as a cover. But like, then you've got like the cover, and it's like there's a reason why that the shading's there the way it is, because like you said, why is it so much blackness there, over here? But like you can see, like there's a whole lot of crap going on in the up, in the sky and stuff. So there's wyverns, and you can see people on the wyverns. And there's a big dragon, and that's Dramzel, who's a dragon who is a humanoid who can change into a dragon, but he's from a dragon people. And so, and then you've got our little Romy here, You know, and so I'm real, you know, I want to see what, I mean, I'm happy with this, but I just want to see what his final, you know, colors are going to be. So, you know, the other thing was we were going to have this colored, but then I realized that, hey, it's going to cost a bit. And really, I just want to put this out there. And maybe later when we go to trade paperback and have all 4 issues finished, then we'll probably get you know, see what we go with the color wise. But in the meantime, you know, black and white works really well. But Iwa Kim's basically touching it up because it's black and white, because he wants to like do a bit more, you know, bit more work on it because it's black and white. So let me show you guys a bit of. I thought this was one of my favorite pages. It's just the way he's like what goes on in the story is like ridiculous. I mean, not ridiculous, but a bit of. There's a lot of seriousness in the story, but there's a lot of comedy as well. So this part really cracks me up. You know. So you got your land lizards and all that. Like I was saying before, we're fantasy, right? And that how like Howler's a bit like crossover between Nightbreed and Howling. And what was a vampire movie recently came out with like anyway, it's a mix between Howler, vampires, sorry, Nightbreed, Howling, and vampires is basically what the Howler is, right? Comic that Luiz is working on. So this is one that Iwa Kim from Sweden's working on, you know. And so this is going to come out in black and white first as well as a floppy. But all the artwork on this is done except some touch-ups because it's going to be black and white. He wanted to do a bit more work on it. But man, you know, I'm just so excited with you guys all working so hard on these books. So we actually, you know, actually had create a language for them and stuff, fonts and stuff. I mean, I didn't create language. There was somebody had actually done it. And so Alvin, you know, sort of like a language. Yeah. And so that was pretty cool. So I wanted something to be very, you know, very typical of that world. So like I'm saying, like before I was saying, like how Howler is set in the real world, right? Our world. And this here is set in a parallel universe to our world called Landia. So over there, you know, all these crazy things happen, people, you know, medieval kind of looking things. But that's why I like the fact that like in Howler, the artwork is very grounded. The characters are very grounded in our world. And it makes them, you know, it makes them, you know, feel more real. And I wanted that for this book, you know, because there's bits of mischief and stuff goes on in this book. You know, it's kind of a love story, kind of a whole lot of crazy stuff, you know. Maybe I shouldn't show you too much, but I thought this is a good one to show. Just, you know, talking about monsters and stuff. Let me get rid of the text so you guys can't see the text. Where are you? All right. I've forgotten what this is called. Liar? Dang it, what are they called?
Do you name it?
Hold on. Yeah, oh, not the name, not that one. Hold on, let me quickly. Lamia. Yeah, so she's a lamia. So half human, half snake. Lamia. So yeah, I love this page, man. It's so like, it's twisted around a human body, female body like that.
Yeah. I think you just heard the motorcycle passing by.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Usually here it's like it doesn't sound that good here. It's always like rah, rah. So that was a really cool sound.
Yeah.
Really... So yeah. So this is a Lamia, um, you know, and this is the pencils on it, man. Like that's what I was saying. Like I think I would love to like put a pencils like as an ash can of the like of the issue as a freebie. Like, hey, you guys can as a digital freebies. Thank you for buying the print copy. And here's a free ash can pencils only. So you can see the pencil work that's got into it. Because I sometimes like inking loses some of the detail, and which is fine. But I think sometimes seeing the pencil and the strokes, because I used to sketch a lot when I was younger in my teens and stuff, and even in my 20s, before I had this. And I used to sketch a lot, and I love the pencil strokes, and the brush strokes and such. And just, yeah, man, this is
Yeah,
so cool.
yeah, I know what you're talking. I mean, I still try to not to lose too much of these details when I do the ink, even though it still happens. But yeah, there's some
Yeah,
things like during for the ink that you just I don't. I mean, few people know how to translate it like that. I mean, I just saw
yeah,
a long time ago a pencil art from Batman from
mm,
Jim Lee. I think I still have
yeah,
it saved in my cell phone. It's like one of my favorite ever arts that I ever saw. I don't know if I
yeah,
can find it on Google right now, but it's really beautiful. And I 100% sure that most of these details that they are in this pencil art that has just kept hidden in the ink. Just you can see.
yeah,
Let me find it.
yeah. Like this is one, right? So this is check this out. Like while you look for your one, I'll show you this. This is what I mean by how inks sometimes lose the stroke, the brush strokes and stuff. Look at the detail in that, man.
Yeah,
That just, most of this just becomes black, you know,
yeah, yeah.
and
That's
like
true.
that's why people pay like, that's why people pay a lot for just the pencils sometimes because it's like the original art. And this is what 2016, right? Yeah, Jim Lee
Yeah,
2016.
yeah,
Just yeah, man. Like that's why I thought like when I was looking at your pencils, saying, oh, man, I'd just love to release it as a digital, and maybe when we do like, when we collect it as trade paperback or hard paperback later, in each arc, because there's 12 issues in the series, so we could put it like the pencil pages at the back, just to show this is what the stages of that, and because I think it's so cool. And same with like Iwakim's, right? Because Iwakim's like pencil and paper. He doesn't do
yeah,
digital. He'll color digital, but he's all pencil and paper. And so it's quite interesting to watch his just straight paper onto paper, inking on paper, and so on. And same thing with our other artist on Templeton, James, right? He does a lot of our covers, and he's doing his own book, and like his work is crazy on on pencils as well, like details. And I'm like, please don't. And it's like, I only do it, only ink on, if I'm going to ink, then I'm going to do it on my own pencils, right? I'm like, but I've got all his pencils, right? So I'm happy that I've got all his pencils that he sent me through, and I've got them all arranged. And just it's it's just
yeah. I,
amazing
I,
the work
yeah.
that
I
goes there.
think I found. I think I found the one, but
Okay.
where do I send it?
Hold on, let me get back to the page. So go to present,
Wait, where?
present at the bottom on the tab. So at the bottom of the screen over here, you'll have like
Oh, you mean on the string yard?
yeah, it'll say the screen, and it'll give you there's a square in the screen. Did I just
Uh,
that jumped over to the other page. That's why I thought you guys were seeing it, but you guys didn't see it. So, I mean, look at this. The details
Well,
on the pencils, man.
yeah,
So, we're,
I still didn't figure out how to do that, but I'm going to send the link here for what I found.
Okay. Cool. All right, let's get this link open. All right, it's there. Okay, here we go. Yeah, this is cool. All right, let's see if we can get this. There we are. Yeah. Like I said, I mean, like when I used to do pencil and paper, like, you know, before, like, I guess I was like, what year did I lose my hand? 94, so I was 21, right? So when I went to art school, all I had was color pencils and pencil drawings on like A3 size sketch pad, and that's what got me in. I had nothing else. I was like, here, this is my work. And they were like, okay, yeah, I can see, you know, we go. And then I didn't actually do 2D. I went straight into like jewelry design, sculpturing, pottery, ceramics, sculpture, you know, all that stuff. But because they realized that like I was more attuned to creating things with my hands than just drawing. And then like 3 months into the friggin' art school, slice tendons on glass. Yeah, that was that. But that's why I always admire pencil work. Like, you know, I just gave my nephew a whole bunch of inking pens and coloring pens for his art, because I was like, you got to have this, man. You know, you can't just rely on your, you know, because he's more traditional. So, but I was also trying to get him digital as well. But this is so awesome, man. Like the details. This is why the guy can charge $35,000, right? Because you know, he's already I mean, he's already paid by someone to do work, right? By DC, right? He's there. He's got a salary and whatever. But when he does this, he's doing work, you know. So he wants that time he's going to spend on working for you to be valuable to you, because you're going to pay for it, and also valuable to him, but because he's going to spend that time working on it. He's not going to give you a, you know, squiggly little thing for $35K, you know. And I think he deserves it, every single cent, because he's worked so hard over the years, right? And to be the master of the icon that he's become. And, you know, yeah, I think that's why I you know, as an artist, I admire artists. As a writer, I admire writers. And I think, you know, we can't belittle somebody saying this is what my value is ever, because, you know, it's, you know, because it's the skill and the talent and time you spend on that. Like I spent 3 years just at film school learning how to tell a good story, right? Even though I was doing all that on stage and writing before I even went there, but I still felt like I needed to go there and do that because I wanted to be a filmmaker before I had my car accident. So, you know, there's all that value and time you spent learning a craft. And I just get, you know, I think a lot of people don't put that time into it, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, just seeing, you know, this is, you know, just seeing your pencils here, man, you know, that's why I thought, like, you know, I love to see these, that get people to see this just on their, you know, on their own with the story and so on, you know, without the, you know, without the inks and stuff, so you can see the strokes, see the way, because a lot of people now are like cheating by using some sort of AI or modeling and stuff, right? You know, but like, that's why I love seeing the real pencil and paper. You know, I've got a friend who does all pencil and paper himself, you know, putting it out his own comics. You know, I'm 7, and so, you know, he's very passionate about that, and I'm very passionate about it because I come from pencil and paper. Even though all I do now is digital, it's just, yeah, it's just crazy. I mean, like, yeah, I just don't understand people wanting to bypass all this and just go straight to AI as if like that's going to be, that's going to be something they will learn from. It's like you can't learn from something that's already going to regurgitate vomit, right? And perspective is this is what I like really enjoy, but talking with artists about perspective as well, because like I write down, hey, looking down at this body, right? And then now you have to draw that person looking down in a way that makes sense, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say about this panel specifically. I was for a long time like just cracking my head, because I always felt there was something wrong here. So I spent a lot of time trying to fix whatever I was seeing here. I think it's something about the perspective at the beginning. I still not 100% sure if I really like the way it is. I mean, sometimes it feels like there's still something that I need to fix, but I don't know what exactly. That happens very often, actually. But yeah.
So that was a thumbnail, right? So this is a thumbnail, and this is the pencils from the positioning of the thumbnail.
Yeah.
I wonder if, like, I mean, because the thing is that you got there's gonna Kumiho, man, pronouncing all these freaking foreign names is hard. It's like a was it like a nine-tailed fox? Yeah, nine-tailed fox spirit. Yeah, so yeah, it's, I mean, like, you guys are seeing a bit of information here, but I'm like trying not to, I just want to show you guys the artwork so you guys know this is like, this is what you're going to get in the book, but like, this is not the final, this is like just the pencils of it, but like, and the other thing is that we've actually, with the Howler, we've done some of the issue 2 as well. Quite a bit, some pencils, some thumbnails, because we're kind of like trying to get like, when I was looking, like trying to figure out how to get, work out where we're going to back and forth, because this is a 200-year story. So one of the characters has a 200-year past. So you're kind of having to like trying to figure out what's going to be the main theme of this that's going to unite all of this. And we realized that vehicles, because like, it takes days to get anywhere 200 years ago, so, or months, and all the travels and all the places this person has to go to get these creatures and so on. So the long and short of the story is that like there's this thing called the Conclave, this group called the Conclave, and they live in, I think it's in Italy. Is it Italy or France? I can't remember now.
I think it was Italy.
Yeah, so there's an actual real place that I didn't even know existed, that I ended up dreaming about, which ended up being, this place that I later on found out. And it's like there's in Italy, there's a mountaintop castle, like it's really wicked. It's like amazing. And then like in the castle, there's all these dungeons. And so I just, when I was writing the story, that's what I thought, okay, this is what it's going to be like. There's a mountain and all this, and then realized that I was searching for castles. This place existed, and so I was able to like we have in this place they basically they live, and all these creatures ended up being brought there, and it kind of feels. I just made me think of Sanctuary. If you guys have ever seen Sanctuary, there was a show way back when maybe about 10, 15 years ago called Sanctuary. Hey, Mr. Dillinger. How you doing, mate? Crack Squad Comics. Welcome. Hey, if you're new here, please sub. It'll be cool. And like I said earlier, that like this is just going to be about comics, this channel, right? Like, and if you guys want to come on sometimes, let me know and we'll have a chat with you. Because I keep getting asked by other people to be interviewed, because that's one of that's what I used to do for the last couple of years on the PlungeCast channel. But I decided that like I wanted to separate the comics that we create from that, because that channel has got a bit more political and stuff. And I'm like, well, let's separate that and make this place where the comics, is going to be. So if you ever want to, promote your stuff and all that, you're welcome. To send out links and stuff, because look, as far as I'm concerned, we only put out one book in the last 2 years. In the next 5 years, we're going to put out 5. So it's not like there's a competition. They're like, oh, you're going to bite into my freaking pocket. It's like because like there's enough fans out there to be reading books. So that's why I did the whole interview shows, because I was like, why not? Everybody should be able to get as much promotion for their work as possible. Now,
hey, can you send me the link, the YouTube link for the stream? Because I don't know
okay.
Yeah. Because I've been trying to search through PlungeCast, but it seems that it's not there.
Okay, so it is YouTube at Plunge Comics. Let me grab. So here's the link for you there. Yeah, oh, that's right. I forgot to actually send you the link to the channel, because usually I do that for the actual, live stream. I just sent you the invite link.
Yeah.
So yeah. Now the other thing, as we're talking about that, we also do manga, right? So one of our stories is based on manga, which, let me get out of here. So, like, there we go. Excuse me. So this is our, manga. It's called, did I say manga? Manga. It's, and this is called The Tortoise, and it's about, let me get to a full page. Right, so here we go. Here we go. Text away, text away, text away, text away. Right. So this is by Tomas. He's Argentinian, but he's over in France right now with his partner and himself, doing shift work, not shift work, seasonal work. That's right. He's doing seasonal work, touring Europe. So we did a 3-hour stream, I think November, last stream anyway. And so we're talking to him about his travels. So you guys can check that out later on the other on the channel. And then I also put up clips from that to separate it from the 3 hours down to like half an hour portions of when we talk about each thing. So we have this. The Tortoise itself is about two young girls, right, in their 20s. I say young because I'm 50, right? So one is one has been infatuated, has had a pet since she was 6 years old. As a tortoise, as a turtle, as a pet, and so all through her life, now she's always been learning about it. It's like this obsession, pet turtle and all that, and so later on, she meets this girl, and so they go over to a country to do kind of like a Habitat for Humanity. In Plunge Universe, there is a religion there is a singular religion, and there's offshoots of that religion, and it's called the Holy Polyhedron Temple of the Polyhedron. And so in every one of our stories, that religion is kind of like they're in the future, they're in the past, they've been around. So that kind of like is one of the secret kind of like Easter eggs that tie all our books together. And they have all the offshoots that like science, medical, and all that. So one of the parts in this book is they like the Habitat for Humanity. So they basically build homes, or like they go into like places that have been like damaged by cyclones or something, and help the local communities. So she decides, Amber and her girlfriend or fiance at this point, Kirsten, decide to go and help, and then make it into a working holiday. So working holiday, kind of like a charity work. I don't even think you can call it working, but anyway, charitable holiday, right? So they spend a week doing that, and they decided to spend another week looking for this tribe. They're visiting this tribe, elusive tribe called the Wabo, who have a legend about turtles. And so, that's who these people are here, right, on the screen that you're seeing in front of me, in front of you, right? So they show up thinking everything's all cool, and then they find out that they're like their own way of life. They're not keen to have strangers turn up and try to show up uninvited kind of thing. And so anyway, so it's really kind of more, it's a supernatural horror drama. So it's about, I think, about 4 issues in. 4 issues. We've already worked on issue 2, kind of like working backwards and forwards between issue 1 and issue 2. I've finished issue 3 script, issue 4 script. I've planned out what I'm going to do, and so it's a 4-issue series. Unlike Howler, which is 12 issues. Unlike Incredible, which is 6 issues. And issue number 2 should be coming out next year, as soon as we get the colorist set up to do the coloring. So yeah, so it's pretty, the little interpreter and stuff. So it looks a bit dark in this one, but it's at night, of course. So yeah, I love the art style in this. It's just like expressions are really, it's really cool. I love Tomas's style.
Yeah, it seems like a really unique art style. You give some
it's
identity.
Like you can make it animated, right? Just off the characters like that.
Yeah, I think so.
It will make an awesome animated show. Yeah, but it's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty full on. I like the story gets pretty full on. I mean, just like Howler, right? It's just it's all, it's like there's fun, there's drama, there's action, and there's some craziness. But the one I think I didn't put up on the screen is, I actually had it as a cover. Let me bring this up so you guys can see Templeton, right? Because it's one of our most mature books, right? It's like R18, and it's this one here. Excuse me. And basically, Templeton's about a soul collector, human soul collector in hell. And as that's Sangyum, his love interest, or I don't think she's his love interest at this point. So all the pencils are done. We're about six pages of inks are done. It's all pen paper inking too. So as you know, that's a bit of a longer process, and you got to be extra careful when you're inking on pen, directly on paper. And we've already started pencils on issue 2 as well. So this one's an interesting one because like it's Heaven and Hell. I colored this, but the art is by James, who's the interior artist, so you know what the art's going to look like. It's going to be so cool. But let me see if I can bring up art from it so you guys can actually see his amazing work on this. Where are you? Oh, here we go. Those inks right there. Right, so there we go. This is James inking his own work on pen and paper.
That's interesting. Like it's like a more loose art style, or loose lines.
Yeah. So you can see the marks on the actual, on the inks on over the pencils and stuff. That's what I mean. Like it's like real inks on real paper, So.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of like the art style from Barry Windsor Smith from like Conan. Do you remember that? Like Conan the Barbarian comics.
I don't remember it right now.
Yeah.
What's the name? Let me search it.
Conan the Barbarian, Barry Windsor Smith. And I'll show you another page from this.
What's the artist again?
It's about from the Barry Windsor. Actually, I could find it for you. I think it was Barry Windsor. Because I know the other guy was yeah, there we go. So this is his style here. So can you see the screen there?
Oh, I just found it in Google. Yeah, I have seen these artists before from Cotton. Yeah.
Yeah.
I seen the screen right now. Yeah. That's really cool.
So check this. This is his other one. Like, check at this. This is his Conan work. Wait, what? Hold on. It's probably better if I go into. No, it's still giving me the same sort of thing. I thought it would give me like without like the frames. Like, look at that.
That's really crazy, man. It's really, really crazy. This amount of detail that reminds me of another artist. It's Alfredo Alcala.
Alfredo?
Alfredo Alcala. Do you know him?
Okay. I'll look it up. Alfredo.
Yeah, it's from Volta.
Oh. Let me see if it'll Alcala. Okay. Got him. Right. Oh wow. He worked on oh wow. He worked on Planet of the Apes. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
Yeah.
How do I not know his name? I've seen his work.
Well, I mean, there's also some really big artists out there that I don't remember the name too. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But this one really stuck out to me because of also because of my teacher. My teacher had the uh,
Hmm.
this book of Walter of and I use it to study his art. His thinking. It's really good, man. The amount of work that he does. I heard that he used to make these pages like the pencils, like or the inks. I don't know, but in a day, a single day, each page a day.
Right.
It's really incredible.
That's pretty cool, man. It's got some amazing work. Let me see what else is there. Wait. Alfredo. So I'll put the name in the chat so you guys can check it out later. Alcala. And so you worked for DC, Masters of the Universe miniseries, Wizard's Keep. So he's from the Philippines.
Yeah.
So this is his page here. If you guys want to check him out later.
There's also this one that
other one.
There's also this one that I sent to you on Skype. This page that he did, this splash page.
Right. Let me bring this Skype over. Look at that. Volta pencils and inks.
Oh, that's the one I just sent you.
Oh, right, this one, the horse.
Yes, that's
right.
the one I just.
That's wicked.
I don't know if you can hear the fireworks here, but can you hear it?
Are they preparing for New Year's Eve?
Yeah.
Or are they just letting it off?
Yeah.
Alfredo Alcala. Pidong. Also known as Pidong. As those close to him knew him, was born 23rd of August 23rd, 1925. He began life as an artist when at school. Whoops, what am I touching? I was touching the screen of the phone. I was going tick, tick, tick. I'm like, what? So, yeah, all right, let me start again. Alfredo P. Alcala Pidong, as those close to him knew him, was born on August 23rd, 1925. He began life as an artist when at school by drawing for his classmates. He was clearly born with an artist's eye for detail and extraordinary memory that enabled him to retain what he saw for future reference with every single thing he saw. Wicked. Whilst in his teens, whilst in his preteen years, during the Japanese occupation of the Philippines, it was these skills that gave the young Alfredo an opportunity to act as a spy. He would ride his bicycle past wicked Japanese camps facilities where you'd be shot if they caught you with a camera. Once out of range, he would sit down under a tree, pull out a pad, and draw maps of what he had seen from memory. Then he would bicycle over to the Allies installation and turn in his sketches. Wow. What a dude. He's a hero. Not only just an artist, he's a damn hero.
Yeah, for sure.
So he worked at DC. Let me pop back out there. He worked on the He-Man miniseries. They had something here on there. Master of a mini universe. So there's not much there about him, but Yeah, so he worked on. Okay, so he also worked on Conan the Barbarian and Swamp Thing. I must have seen his work in there somewhere because I read Swamp Thing like probably about maybe 50 issues or something. I need to get back to it. I read up to about maybe about 40 issues of the original series. But yeah, so he did He-Man, he did what else did he do? Yeah. He died in 2000. That's probably why I don't know him, right? Because he died 24 years ago. Otherwise, everybody would be talking about this great artist. Because internet. So they've got an obituary. Where did he? No, it's gone. Yeah. But DC has a write-up on him. No photo. Seriously, DC, you don't even have a photo of your artist? Off. So here we go. So let me make that higher. Right. Alfredo, as we know, is born there, blah, blah, blah. Right. So, and became a popular artist in that country with the release of his creator-owned property, Volta, in 1963. So that was 38 years later. Am I reading right? Yeah, I think that's 38 years later. So the claim in his home country led him to the American comics industry, where in the early 1970s, he began a career that would see him work steadily for 30 years in America, right? In America. So during this time, Alcala worked for several comics publishers, including Marvel Comics, where he's best known for the many issues of Savage Sword of Conan, to which he contributed, oftentimes providing inks over pencils by John Buscema. He also provided artwork for a number of issues of Creepy and Eerie. Dude's a legend. I mean, for 30 years. And then, yeah, he worked with Creepy, Eerie magazines for Warren Publishing. DC Comics initially showcased Alcala's talents in the early 1970s in his horror and war comics such as Ghosts, Unexpected, Weird War Tales, House of Secrets, which is where Swamp Thing was first. I think it's number 8. Or was it 30 where Swamp Thing first appeared in the little story, short story. He later moved on to titles such as All-Star Squadron, Detective. He worked on Batman, Detective Comics, and most notably Swamp Thing, where his graceful, moody inks helped maintain that book's style through various art and editorial changes. Alcala died in April of 2000. Rest well, sir. Alfredo Alcala. Wicked. R.I.P.
I don't remember if you already mentioned while searching, but I think it's Alcala who invented the watercolor pencil pen. I think I don't remember the right word in English for this pen, but he did invent a watercolor pen. I think something like that. At least that's what I heard.
Mm-hmm. I think I wrote. Yeah, I did. I did R instead of N. Okay, so let's see what this says. So this is there we go. So this is a blog about his watercolor things. Zoom in. me grab a drink. The Beauty and of the Brush of Alfredo Alcala, written in 2018, 6 years ago. Look at that. I wonder how much these guys sold it for. More than Alcala probably ever got for it. It's the same as Rob Liefeld, when one of his pages sold for 20 million, and he got nothing
really?
for it.
20 million?
Yeah,
I didn't know about
back in
that.
1990s. That's why he
crazy,
left.
man.
He left Marvel. That's why he left Marvel originally, because he was like, I didn't see anything. And that was a contention why everybody started leaving Marvel back in the 90s and when it formed Image. So, from what I remember, it was 20 million, might be less. Alfredo's work never fails to give. Carry on.
No, I was gonna say, like, no, I understand why, because I know some artists here in my cities. I don't know if you all already heard of this. Is Paulo Siqueira. He works at Marvel right now, I think. He owns work with DC too. I don't remember if he's with Marvel or DC right now, but he worked for both. And
yeah,
he does his pages and the traditional way too, like in the paper. And for what I know, he always stores all of the pages that he does for himself. From what I heard from his friends, his plan is like to use this as a retirement, some kind of retirement, like, because all of these original papers are really worth like a really good money.
Yeah, so, that's what, like, that's why I say to to the artists who are working with pen and paper, keep your work, right? If you're working on the books with me, you own that. That's your work. Unless I ask you for, unless I want a page for a specific reason, then I will buy them off you, right? But like, when I can afford to, but like for the original work, that's your retirement. Maybe someday one of these books like blow up, or maybe even you blow up, right? Because somebody decides to, hey, come and work at DC, come and work at Marvel, or whatever. And then whatever you've done, your original work will be worth so much. And I think this is why I think a lot of people are learning now to be very careful with their work, how to protect their work, because it's your original work is it's kind of your legacy, and you got to protect your legacy. Same thing like with creating stories, creating this universe, Plunge universe, right? We have the fantasy, we have the supernatural, we have the spiritual, we have the science fiction, we have the alternative world. All that is part of the Plunge universe. So everybody's working on their own little story as part of this universe and building it up, to where it's going to go. But the work, you guys still own your work, right? The actual pen and paper, whatever you're working on, that's yours. And I think, I don't think publishers, unless they outright buy it, right? And whatever, they should own it, right? That you should like scan it, send them the friggin', digital copy, because like, I'm wearing, I'm wearing the shirt my sister got me imported all the way from Aussie. And, but, I've got like, Venom t-shirts, and I've got like from Marvel, and I've got Deadpool t-shirts, same image over and over on 3 different items. There's like a fridge magnet this big. That's the same as my t-shirt, like my hoodie. That the same one is on another hoodie that I didn't even realize I had the same friggin' image on it when I bought it, because I bought it like months apart. But, because they get to regurgitate it into so many different mediums, like they could put it on put it on here and they'll sell it for something else. So owning your original work is very important, but like that's what I was saying here, like, heritage auctions, I don't know if back then you didn't have a scanner and such, right? So he would have had to send it off, his original work, to DC, I mean, to Marvel, I should say, because this is Conan, but you know, and then Planet of the Apes. This is all friggin' Marvel work that he did. You know, but if he was like around now, he'd be scanning that and sending it across.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you're an artist who does pen and paper, you should hold on to your pen and paper, right? Artwork, like your pages. It doesn't matter if if they never become anything huge. At least you have something to pass on. At least you can show your work. But this, yeah. So, what is he saying here? I know he's just showing his inks over that, but so there's a whole article here, but there's lots of more comments than anything else. I thought there was actual proper article here, but it isn't. It's just a little blurb. So basically the same thing I just read before from DC's thing. Encontro. Dude, look at that. You can feel each of the lines.
Yeah.
It's like a 3D effect of that. Wow. Oh, okay. Somebody's put a video out. What's this? Oh, this is the one that Unexpected, right? So this was from Unexpected that was showing. Yeah, DC was talking about that he worked at for Erie. I mean, for not Erie, for DC. So I'm going to put the link in the chat, guys, so you guys can watch the rest later. But my usual practice with videos is that I show a bit and leave the link, and then you guys can watch it later for yourself. So this is Artist Spotlight. I mean, I've never heard of the artist, but I've probably seen his work. This is what kind of bums me out, that I didn't know until you told me, Andrade. I mean, Luis. So let's go and check this dude out. Quick video and see what this guy's saying. It's probably more information than DC was putting out, right?
Of the Spotlight, and today we are talking about Alfredo Alcala, another Filipino artist that is underappreciated, underutilized opinion.
All right, let me pop over to YouTube because we'll get the guy's actual channel. Ita Nick, because he said Filipino, so which means that he's from Philippines himself, and so we should give his video a like and a follow. So this was made 8 years ago. Should be all right. Yeah, all. Wait, all. Okay, so let's go to Nick. ETA Nick. I love to talk about comic books. Yeah, guys, give this dude a follow, man. Here's Nick's. He's from Philippines, by the sounds of it. Actually, I actually have in Templeton #1. There's a 8 or 10 page short that I did that I paid for way back in 2010 when I first started working with Templeton, and just before I had my head injury and totally forgot all about it. I worked with an artist called I can't remember his name there, but I think I put it I think it is actually in the Templeton short and as an artist, and then Alejandro. I can't remember now. But yeah, there's a 10-page short at the back of issue number 1 of Templeton, as I showed you guys earlier, the Templeton issue, right? Let me open up the entire well, that's in there. We'll watch the video. Open up the project into Clipsy Paint. So and I'll give you more information there. So let's go back to this dude. I love to talk about comics, the history, the characters, and the creators. So I hope you enjoy my ramblings. Yeah, man. Thank you for putting this video out. Anything recent? 2 years ago. Wait, videos. Last one you put out was 2 years ago. Yeah, so he hasn't done anything for 2 years. So this is a Filipino comic fan talking about comics. Excellent. All right, now we can go check out the video. Turn Nick. Let's go to start. All right, so this is Artist Spotlight Alfredo Alcala for those who are listening and not watching.
Hello, welcome back to another Artist Spotlight, and today we are talking about Alfredo Alcala, another Filipino artist that is underappreciated, underutilized, in my opinion. I don't have a lot of his work, but he started out doing a lot of DC horrors. Okay, and I pull out a couple of books that I have. He also did some westerns, so let's take a look at his early work. Alfredo Alcala. Right off the bat, you can see a lot of details, and he can draw real people really well. A lot of detail in the clothing, as you can see. Okay, look pretty good, right? I think if you look at his work, especially in the superhero genre, I think his muscular figures, it look really, it looked as good at the start of his career in the early parts. Just look at the beautiful landscape. Lots of detail, beautiful inking job. He did a lot of his own inking also. For the first part of his career, he did both. A lot of
the detail and the realism reminds me of your work, Luis. It's like you look at the the amazing details. Yeah, so much work goes, like the shadows and stuff, and because I think he's inking his own work as well. So you can just see, like, they look real, right? Like, I mean, look at this, the perspective of it all.
Yeah,
it looks menacing the way he's looking down at them. Because of the angle of the window. He could have just done a straight window, but the way, the angle of it makes him look like it's kind of like something bad's about to happen. So it's kind of it's really cool.
Penciling and inking himself. And
Also,
he inked other people. And then the second half of his career, he mostly did inking, especially in the Conan. You can see his style fits the horror genre really well. Okay, love this page. Look at that. As always, I pay a lot of attention to the folds and the creases in the pants and the clothing.
Yeah, I really like the shadows here.
Just want to see that kind of great details. Gorgeous. If you Google his name, you will see a ton of gorgeous.
Hold on. You went past one of the. this. Whoops.
Just incredible detail work.
That. Look at the amount of each like line, like it's lines this way and that way, you know. Just look at all the shading, the buildup of like the shading just by the pencil strokes.
Yeah. I'm also observing the shadows over there for like the windows. You know, the window shadows. That's really something really tricky
Yeah.
to do sometimes.
Yeah, like it's going down, right? Then it's going up, and then it's going over things. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's really, really thought out. And the other thing is like he's got this kind of eidetic memory. You know that memory, like he can memorize something, right? He can recall what he's seen. You know,
I
as
see,
we mentioned,
yeah.
like when he was a kid, he was able to do that at the war thing. You know, during the war, and so he's probably seen this somewhere, and just thought, okay, that's how I saw the light fall that way. But man, just the movement here. Because I mean, the comic is, the page is folded slightly, so it's got that curve in it, but like the actual light falling across, even across the mat. Look at the mat.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Online to enjoy. Okay, so hopefully, this video will spur some interest in his work.
I'm gonna have to check these books
Try
out.
not to take too long, but that's it. That's his work in this issue. Pretty decent, right? For a fairly young artist.
Well,
And he also did the work in this magazine. Okay, next we jump to this House of Secret, issue 100. Love this Bernie Wrightson cover. Let's jump to his story quickly. Here we go. Just look at this. I really like this story. Once again, just pay attention to the amount of details in the blanket.
like it's going opposite, curving, like that angle, then this angle, that angle, then down, then across.
Yeah.
Like nowadays it'll be just like big bold, black and white, like bulk, block colors, I should say. That's what I was trying to get. Block colors rather than actual pencil strokes. Because he's doing his own work.
Yeah. I've seen other artists do this kind of
Right.
shading. I don't
Jeez.
remember the name right now.
Yeah. And the thing that really cracks me up is that like people like in the mainstream now don't put this much work into their work, yet they expect more money for the books. Like this
Yeah.
is when like they were only worth about 35 cents. Now you want $14 from me or $30 from me with a different cover, yet the work is very simple inside, especially when you're like, mass production books, not like, 30 or 40, whatever, limited runs or 100 or 200 runs, but like, or whatever, whatever you're releasing on Kickstarter. But the amount of work, but these guys had to do it on deadline. That's the thing, right? They had to do it every month,
Yeah.
and crazy, man. Just look at the shading here. He's not even using, black grays or anything. He's just using line work. Even just here, like back and forth, back and forth. That's what I kind of miss about like, not being having not done penciling and shading for at least about, I don't know, 20 years. Like that's all I used to use. Normally just sit there and just draw all the time. And now I'm like, yeah, I'll just write all the time. Or at the moment, build Legos because I'm on break. Oh, look at that. Look at the line work on his fingers. Just on the nails even. All right, so there's about another. I'm sure he's got more information for you guys. So, like I said, I only play a little bit of this because I don't want to take away from the dude for the work. So do check it out. What was his channel name? ETA Nick 1. That's his channel name. And the rest of the link for the video is there. And you can check out the rest of his channel, which looks pretty cool. But he hasn't put out anything for 2 years. I'm not sure why, but hopefully he's put, he does put out more work. All right, so was there anything else I wanted to show? Oh yeah, that's right. I was going to show the gentleman that I worked with. What was his name? Yeah, there we go. Armando de la Cruz. So this is a Filipino artist I worked with way back in 2010, 14 years ago. So this was going to be Templeton, like the full version of it, but because I had my head injury, I forgot a whole bunch of stuff, lost contact, lost my emails and everything, my Facebook. So what I did wanted, as an extra, sort of like for this book, decided to put it at the back of Behemoth and rewrite Behemoth, Templeton for issue 1, and rewrite the script a bit to change it to work with this new script that we've got. So this is his work here. Let me upload it. Let me get it larger. But actually, we'll go back to this one. You can see this is the opening page. This is Templeton Behemoth. So yeah, Armando de la Cruz. And I got Iwakim, who's doing our Zealandia to correct some inking, because this wasn't the final pages from way back when, and so I had him to complete some touch-ups to then, because these were scanned pages, so they were kind of, some of them was kind of alignment, so I had to get Iwakim to align it and then make sure that everything was proportioned, lined up. So yeah, so this is this gentleman's work. Let me get rid of the text. There we go. See, he was old school as well. He was, by the time I talked to him and got to meet him from Facebook, this was way back in 14 years ago. So he was in his 50s or 60s at that time, and I've been trying to contact him over the last 5-6 years since I've been back into back to comics and back into the world, because I went away for about 2 odd years from everything. So yeah, and I haven't been able to find him. It kind of sucks because I'd love to say, hey man, we're going to put this out finally. And what have you been up to? Would you like to do a cover or something like that? But yeah. So that's that one. That's the opening page to that short story. And I'll show you the rest of the artwork here without giving too much away. So this is Templeton #1, which we'll be putting out soon, next year, once all the inks are done for issue 1. So this was a two page. I had to get Iwakim to excuse me, it's good. It's getting messages. Might be important. Yeah, this is a 2-page spread that was cut into 4, scanned into 4 pieces, and so this is the one that I had to get Iwakim to touch up. Just give me one moment, folks. All right, so yeah, but like I said, this comic book is like, and we had to do some touch-ups because there was new elements that I wanted to introduce into this, into the Templeton Plunge universe. So, which is like these symbols here, they're not like, no longer crosses, no longer representative of yeah. So, like I was saying, the polyhedron. So that's the symbols we had to change around. I had to rework that into it. But with that said, we've been doing this for about 2 hours. Usually I didn't even put that on. Apologies. Did I lose my screen? I was talking without showing you guys the screen. Yeah. Okay, so, and also, yeah, Andrade had to pop off. That's why he was messaging me, because he lost his Wi-Fi connection. Being from, don't know what's going on down in Brazil right now, but yeah. I think that will be all for today. Hopefully you guys will give us give us a follow on here, but also I'll give you a link to our Kickstarter. If you can follow that, I'd really appreciate it, so you guys know what we're up to. And also, all our links to everything else should be on the homepage of our channel, which is, where are you? Do I have the page open? Probably not. There we go. So here's there's the channel, and here's the link to our Kickstarter. So, pop over and give us a follow on there, so get notifications and all the good stuff when we launch the books on the Kickstarter. And hopefully, what we put out, you guys will enjoy, because as I mentioned in the link to this to the stream, that, and as well on Facebook, as well as on Twitter, that I'm not going to be releasing anything unless it's 100% completed. The only difference will be when the Kickstarter, we put people's names in the book. That's the only delay there will be. Once we get the names in there, once the Kickstarter thing ends, off to the printers it goes. Because I myself, don't want to wait a couple of years for a book, right? So I'm become very adamant in not. I still kind of learned that after I did Robot Nation. I was like, I still got to get these colors, pages colored. I'm like, why don't I just get it all done 100%, apart from the names going in, and I've got a space. This is the space that the names will go into, right? And the thank yous for Kickstarter backers and all that, and then we put it out. That's it. Rather than half done work, saying, "Oh, I've got this idea," or "Hey, I've got some pencils done." No, I want our work to be totally complete. All the covers ready, everything's ready to go hit send, right? As soon as like all the names go into the books of all the backers, bam, into the book. Because I got delayed by a month last time for in Critical #1, and people were already complaining. I was like, I'm going to give you like digital comics of this other stuff that my publisher's creating for free, while you wait. So each week I was sending those for over the 4 weeks, but just a month, people were on my case. But I was like, well, why are people like, especially when I was replying to everything, I was like, well, because like one of the pages had like frame on it, like the pencil, like cut off frames. And I'm like, just the one, and got passed. I like went to the printer, and the printer goes, hey, do you want this in there? And my publisher goes, do you want this in there? It's like, hell no. I'm not going to put out like messed up work. It's my first book. So then I was like, okay, I got to make sure that doesn't even happen next time around, right? So I've got to make sure. So I'm very particular going forward that when we put out a book, that you guys can trust us, that the book is finished. The artwork's finished. The colors, those ones that are getting colored. There's only one book that we're going to color from now on, which is in Critical. Robot Nation, 40-page book. That standalone one is colored. So the first issue will be colored going out, and everything else will be black and white, right? That way, that's not a long process in getting the book out. Also, there's not a lot of cost to getting it printed. So, but the story's there, right? The artwork's there. And so we'll do like minimal, apart from Robot Nation, and I think it's Templeton, because I wanted the 666 with Templeton because being like about hell. So 6 covers, 6 cards, or whatever. I think it was like 6 different things, and so on. But apart from that, like we're going to look at only about 3 or 4 covers. No, yeah, 3 covers as variances, whatever. Cover 1, wrap around, and then a foil. That's it. Because I think the work itself should be more important than the covers. And so, because I think the work and the art and the story should be, it should be what sells the book, not the covers. Because otherwise people are just buying for the covers, and it just sits there on the shelf, like I do with my Batman comics, right? Whenever I buy a Marvel or DC comic, which is like once a month or something, 1 or 2 books, I buy it for the covers, and it just sits there on the shelf or in the box, in the plastic bag, because it just covers. Right? I don't even read them. So, so I don't want that to become my books either. So what we create. But thank you for watching, and hopefully, I have shown you that we are doing some amazing work, that we are, that we're very passionate about what we're doing, and the artwork. We've got fantasy, we've got horror, we got sci-fi, we got manga, right? Actual manga, not just like manga and then it reads from left to right. No, we got reads from right to left, back, down, zigzag, right? All that stuff. So I wanted to if I'm going to call it manga, it's got to look like a manga. So you read from the back to the front, from top, right to left, the whole shebang. But yeah, please give me, if you like leave a comment. If you like the channel, leave a like, or the video, leave a like. And if you would love for you guys to share our videos we do here, because that's all we're going to do is comic books on this channel. And hopefully you guys really learned a bit about this artist I don't even know about, but probably have seen the work of, right? Alfredo Alcala. And only because Luiz was here, and his teacher told him that at art school in Brazil, and the Alfredo being from Philippines, so international, right? But yeah, so please check out that video from that dude Nick on his channel to learn more, and so you can see his work a bit more. But yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. And as you know, I've got PlungeCast. I'll be talking about cults this afternoon, later in a couple of hours. So if you guys, if you don't know that I do that over there as well on the PlungeCast channel. So check that out, and I'll give you a link just in case if you're new to, moi. It is, where are you? It is PlungeCast, right? Is it? Oh, hold on. Nope, no. Yeah, so that's it there. There are some, it's become a political channel. So if you're not into politics, stay here, right? Don't even go there. But also, there are some interviews I did earlier on with artists and stuff like Plunge Pop, and a whole bunch of other stuff, comics and ramblings, and movie, what's it? Movie talk and stuff like that. Don't hate Mondays. So if you're into that sort of stuff, that's there. But this channel is just going to be about comics. So yeah, I'll see you guys later, and thank you, and have an awesome New Year's. And whatever, let your 2020, hopefully your 2025 is awesome. Don't stress too much. Don't make too many weird resolutions that you won't keep, and then you'll stress out about not keeping them. But have an awesome day, night, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. Catch you later. Ka kite ano. See you guys.